What's going on, guys? Thanks for doing this. I appreciate it.
No worries. How are you?
You're doing well. Yeah, doing all right. Getting ready for Election Day 2020 tomorrow. Should be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, is that tomorrow?
It is, yeah.
And speaking of important decisions, Ben, I was just working out which stock pot to put in the chili con carne. Do I go beef stock or do I go mushroom stock, even though I've made a vegetarian chili? Is that weird?
If you made it vegetarian, I would go mushroom.
I think you have to.
Yeah.
But,
so, yeah. But yeah, like you, Matthew, I'm in a bit of a dilemma as well.
Excited to be joined by you guys. I know Trouble's Coming is out there and has been out there for a little bit. I want to talk first about the remix that you guys released just a couple of days ago. And I'm just curious because, one, there's not a lot of rock bands that do remixes. So I'm curious how that sort of process happens. Do you write Trouble's Coming and you release it and a DJ reaches out to you and says, I want to remix this? Do you guys write it, record it? You think this would be cool to remix? Like, how does this all happen where you guys now have your first ever official remix?
Yeah, I mean, it's the first one we've done, and it's really, really easy because we don't have to do anything, you know. It was more of an afterthought and kind of exactly how you said, really. Purple Disco, this guy, Purple Disco Machine, kind of reached out to us and wanted to do it, and we were like, yeah, go for it. And it's cool because it's completely up to whoever else wants to do with our song, and they're going to hear it in a different way, you know. So if anything, I kind of encourage more people to like take the track and remix it, or even remix the remix. Why not? It's 2020. That's the kind of world we're living in.
Yeah, just throw everything out the window. Just do whatever the hell you want. Do you guys have to? Do you guys have to approve it? Like once the remix is done, do you guys have to give it the A-OK?
Yeah, it's just like this. Yeah, great. It's easy as that.
It's that simple.
When you guys first wrote Trouble's Coming, you record it for the first time. Do you kind of hear in your head like you could see maybe a DJ taking this and turning it into something?
That was not on our minds at the time of making it. Because I guess, like you said, we haven't really done that before. But however, I think having those kind of beats and those kind of tempos, we knew it would kind of lend itself to those kind of scenarios, I guess. And we didn't feel so precious about staying in our rock lane, you know. We were kind of interested in, not being afraid to kind of break some rules.
I think one of the things that, sucks the most about 2020 is not being able to go to shows. You guys are certainly a live band. I mean, you go online and you read anything about Royal Blood and people talk about your live shows and the sound that you guys produce when you're on stage. I have to imagine that for you guys, this song is so fun to listen to. I got to imagine it sucks not being able to play it live right now, playing it in front of fans. I know you guys had some dates scheduled for this year that obviously didn't happen. It's got to be tough to have this song and, know that it's going to be a song that gets the crowd moving and you guys can't go out right now and play it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But there's nothing anyone can do. And it's just one of those things where, we're a live band. We love, that's what gets us going, playing to people and getting that vibe with being in a room and making a lot of noise. So without that, it's a bit of a compromise if we do anything else. But like you're saying, it's frustrating because we've got these songs ready to rock and we can't wait to play them to people and to get into that live atmosphere again.
So it's when you hear Trouble's Coming for the first time, it's obvious that you guys have kind of gone in, I wouldn't say a different direction, but you've added some different things to your sound. When you guys sit down and you start writing this next album that'll be out next year, do you guys have this conscious, do you make this conscious effort to incorporate different things, to switch it up a little bit, to change things and make things a little bit different?
I think it was just about getting out of our own way, And I think before we've perhaps censored ideas or censored influences in our own music because out of fear of it not fitting into our world. Whereas this time it was like, it wasn't really like consciously like, let's do something different. It was more like, we want to do something different. So let's just allow that to happen. and let's not kind of stop anything, you know? So it was a really like liberating writing experience, you know, because it felt like, I would say it felt like the most indulgent and the most, the most like we were writing music for ourselves again, you know, rather than thinking about what anyone would think or thinking too much about, is this what they want? Is this what they really want?
I think indulgent is a good word. You've talked about in different interviews how you guys sort of indulged your different influences, and talked about the fact that you guys have all these influences that you weren't able to incorporate into your sound just yet. And like you said, you just took it all and threw it all in there. Everything is all in on this next album.
And I think indulgent can be a sort of bad word sometimes, but I disagree, because I think, I don't know, it's like going out for a meal, isn't it? You don't want the food that you eat at home. You want an indulgent, full-on experience. And it's the same with music, you know. I want richness. I want to hear someone's kind of like, kind of most concentrated ideas, you know. And that's kind of what we want to do as well. We're like, let's cook everything in butter.
Would you describe your chili con carne as indulgent?
You see, no, it's not. But I know there's two versions to this chili con carne.
Right.
There's this vegetarian one that I'm making now, which is for home. But if I was to go out, or if I was to indulge on my chili con carne, we're talking, this is a completely different recipe, you know?
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is, Matthew, is making this record, we were not health conscious.
Okay.
As to what was coming out of the speakers. It was
how much chili con carne was consumed while writing this album? Or is this a new?
None. Until we're actually mixing the last two songs today.
Okay.
So this is probably the first chili con carne that's going to be consumed.
Yeah.
And the last, unless Ben decides to knock one out before a chili con carne. I mean, before the record's finished.
I am known to do.
I don't think it would be a bad idea to have like the first in 2021, the inaugural Royal Blood Chili Con Carnival at some point. Like you guys both make your own, and people come to, you know, whatever venue we can go to, and maybe one has the mushroom stock and the other has the beef. We just see what happens.
Let's do it in Chile and call it the Con Carnival.
I like that's a great idea.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all coming together. So when you guys are starting to write, you're starting to record this album, do you have some of it done before the whole COVID-19 shutdown thing happens? Were you guys well on your way to having this album kind of in the bag before we all got shut down?
It was halfway through the album and we had to stop. So we ended up just continuing to write and kind of work on what was being recorded, but from home. And what I say from home, we have a shared studio space that we kind of write from. But we ended up finishing the record during lockdown. So it was really kind of, at first, like unsettling experience, you know, because we were on a really good roll. We were making headway on finishing the record. But in hindsight, it was the best thing that could have happened, because it just gave us a bonus round. That's what it felt like. And as a result, you know, I'd say 2 or 3 extra tunes got added to the record that are pretty sweet.
I was going to ask if having that sort of separation, that little bit of a break between it, gave you guys the opportunity to write a little bit more, record a little bit more. Did it change the sound of the album at all? Did it change sort of the direction at all in which you were going?
Funny, actually, we've been speaking about indulgence. I think it gave us this permission to kind of be even more extreme with the direction we were heading in, and even more extreme with how far we were willing to push things. Because at first it felt like we have this record that's great, so we've really got nothing to lose if we just write some more. But in the circumstances and the context in which these were being written was like, well, we've got this over here, so let's just go crazy. Let's just push it even further. And I think, as a result, it made much wilder material, you know.
And I've heard that you've been sworn to secrecy in regards to other songs on the album. Trouble's Coming is the song, and that's the single, and you're not yet allowed to talk about what else we can expect on the album, though I assume fans are excited. I mean, hearing Trouble's Coming, that is a song that, I mean, I hope the entire album has sort of a similar vibe to it, though I know everything won't sound that way. I mean, every time I hear Trouble's Coming, I can't, like, it gets me excited as a dude who wakes up at 3:30 in the morning and does a morning show. When I hear that at 7 o'clock in the morning, it gets me amped up for the day. And I hope that we get a lot more of that on the album too.
Yeah, I think, you're not going to be shortchanged, you know, because I think this one as well, it's been a while for us to come back with material, but it really was written in the space and created in the space of a year. And I think we were on that kind of path. So the record has a similar feel kind of throughout. Because I don't like it when bands or artists release a single and then the rest of the album's just like how they used to sound.
Yeah, right.
You're like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot of bands that sort of get into that funk and they sort of do the same thing and they try and do something different. But when you do get the LP, you hear the whole album, you're like, oh, well, they're doing the same thing they've always done. And Trouble's Coming certainly sounds like not a departure, so to speak, but like you said, a way for you guys to kind of evolve the sound of Royal Blood. And I like the fact that the song, it does have kind of an upbeat feel to it, but the lyrics, when you listen to it, it's not, it doesn't sound, the lyrics are not upbeat. It seems like a pretty dark song with like a fun, upbeat, beat behind it.
Yeah, I think that kind of strange combination is also something that we kind of were excited about, because I think if you double down on Misery, then it's kind of like no one's going to want to listen to it, you know. So this was a kind of way of me being able to say how I felt, but without bumming everyone out.
You guys released the video for Trouble's Coming not too long ago, and the first thing that people kind of gravitated towards was that the effect in the video that's very White Stripes-esque. Was that something you guys thought of when you're recording the video? Do you decide we want to kind of do that sort of thing? Is that something the director said, what if we do this? I mean, visually, the video is awesome. Seeing, you guys in the trunk and driving the car and all that stuff. But then when you go into that sort of White Stripes effect, is that something you guys wanted to do?
It's not something we thought about, to be honest, when we were making it. We didn't actually write the idea for the video either. But I guess that kind of I'm assuming you're talking about the kind of endless mirror loop.
Yeah.
Kind of that's in the Seven Nation Army video. Yeah. Well, we didn't intend to steal that, but it's more a reflection of no pun intended, but a reflection of the lyrics. This idea of kind of, like a never-ending sensation, really. But yeah, that kind of, I guess as well, the song is kind of very much like a psychological song, so it was important to have those kind of images that are kind of trippy and slightly kind of hallucinogenic.
I realize that it is very similar to what the White Stripes did. I wonder sometimes, because you guys are a duo, if people don't know who to compare you to, so they just immediately go to the Black Keys, the White Stripes, the Kill. They just pick these bands that are also duos and go, oh yeah, it's sort of reminiscent of that. Is that frustrating for you guys at all when you go and you see? I mean, they're great bands, obviously, but I mean, I wouldn't put you guys in the White Stripes. I mean, you're very different, similar to you guys in the Black Keys, but the only similarity you have is it's a duet. That's outside of that, it's, totally different.
Yeah, I don't really blame people for that, because there aren't that many duos. So in order to sort of fumble around for some comparisons, you're not really left with many options. And comparison is just a way of familiarizing yourself, or making yourself feel at least at ease with what you're listening to or experiencing for the first time. So it doesn't surprise me that people go, the Black Keys or the White Stripes. But when you actually think about it and listen to all those bands sort of separately, we all sound completely different. The only thing that's probably one of the only things we truly have in common, is the amount of members in the band rather than the sound.
So 2020 is finally going to end at some point. What are you guys hoping for in 2021 outside of getting the album out there? I know you guys have already announced some festival dates. What else do you hope for in 2021 besides the Con Carnival in Chile?
Other than the Con Carnival in Chile, I think we're just really hoping for things that we can control, you know? So I'm not going to sit here and hope that for world peace or that COVID goes away, because I don't really have much control over that from my flat in Brighton. But we do have control over our creativity and our output. So I think I just hope that we kind of stay creative, really, and continue on this path we're on, because I think this is the most excited we've been about making music in a long time. So yeah, that's our kind of band mantra.
I see Ben sitting back there, and I'm curious if he's just coming up with more ideas for the Chile event that's going to be held.
I think you've successfully distracted him from this entire interview.
That was my goal the entire time. I'm awesome.
He's thinking of the lineup. He's thinking of different
Chili
events.
Peppers playing, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah. You have to have the Chili Peppers
every
there.
goddamn night.
Salt and pepper, Mushroom Head.
Oh wow. The possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
Captain Beefheart can be there. Bowling for soup, yeah. All great ideas. It can be sponsored by Hormel or pick your chili. It doesn't matter to me. Velveeta could be there. There are certainly a bunch of options.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. I know you guys have got a bunch of these to do. So hopefully your other Zooms are as expressive about chili con carne than as this one is. And
Chili
you guys
Eilish.
Going.
Chili Ray Cyrus.
Kidney Bean Thatcher.
Awesome, guys. I appreciate you guys taking the time to do this.
No sweat, man. Thank you.
Cool. See you guys.
Bye.